Listen here. If you don't subscribe right now, your favorite NFL team won't win a Super Bowl for the next 20 years. Just need to start the video with saying that because like 90% of the people that watch these videos aren't subscribed. So, yeah. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's Jackson. I'm not using my mic today because I'm too loud. Power's here. And today we are doing something a little bit different. We're going to do predictions for the entire AFC South. Last year, I did each team. They got their own video. That's what I did. But this year, we're not doing that. We're just going to do it all in one video just to save some time, you know. So, yeah, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over what I believe each team's ceiling and floor is and then predict their record and where they're going to finish in the division. So, that's basically all there is to it. Of course, I'm doing the AFC South because I'm a Colts fan. Well, it's my division, so of course I got to do my division. If y'all want me to do your division, let me know in the comment section below, and I will maybe do it. Anyway, let's just get into the video. So, first team we're going to be talking about is the Houston Texans. Now, Houston has had a very interesting offseason. Their rookie receiver that they just drafted unfortunately did just get diagnosed with leukemia, so that's really unfortunate. So prayers up to him. I hope he has a speedy recovery, and I know that Houston, they're going to try to go out there and play for him, and I feel like they could have a lot of close competitive games. I think that they will, actually, because even the bad teams, they have a lot of close and competitive games. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they can do. I don't think they're going to be great, though. I think their ceiling, maybe 4 or 5 wins. Like 4-13, I would say, is their ceiling. And I think their floor is 0-17. I don't think that they're going to be a great team at all. They still got a lot of work to do. Davis Mills is still their quarterback. So, I don't think they're going to do well. I think if I had to take a guess at what their record's going to be, I would have to go with 2-15. I still think that they're a long way away from being good, but they had a step in the right direction this offseason with their draft picks, and their receiver can come back from his leukemia. I think that he'll end up being really good for them, and I think the Texans could be good here in a few years. So, Texans fans, just keep your hopes up high, because I still think that y'all have a pretty good chance at winning at some point. But y'all got a long way to go. So, of course, I got them finishing 4th. Next up, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars, they had a very interesting offseason, to say the least. They spent the most money out of everybody in the NFL, but they overpaid every single person they signed. That's just here or there. I mean, they're over here playing Madden with the salary cap turned off, and they have a horrible strategy. That is legit what they're doing right now, because a lot of that was just uncalled for. They kind of ruined it for everyone else because they gave Christian Cook like $70 million, and now all these receivers want big time money. So thanks, Jacksonville. Y'all really ruin everything, don't y'all? I'm just kidding. I'm definitely still not salty about what happened at the end of last season, but that's besides the point. I think Jacksonville has a pretty disappointing year. I don't think they're going to be good. Like, I was thinking to myself that they could be potentially 500. Not 5. You can't go 500. Like, 8-9 range. But then I looked at their schedule, and they got a lot of tough games. Like, everyone in the South has a lot of tough games. I don't think that the Jags are going to do well. I think that their ceiling is probably 8-9 to 7-10. Around there is what I'd say their ceiling is. And I think their floor is 3-14. I think that their ceiling and floor are pretty far apart. From 8 wins to 3 wins is a pretty big difference. I don't see Jacksonville being all that yet. I think that they're at least another year away from competing for the South. So I think that Jacksonville will finish 4-13. I know there's going to be some people that probably disagree with me with that, but I went through and did their whole record and predicted each game. I looked at each game. I thought they could win and lose, and I think that that's what they finished with. A 4-13 is what I think, and they finished third in the division. Now to the next team, and I got Matt Ryan on right now, but I think we need to change up the attire a little bit for this next team. You Titans fans, you know this guy real well, don't you? Oh, God, that joke will never get old. Yeah, we're wearing the Andrew Luck jersey for the Titans predictions because that is the team that is up next. Now, when you look at the Tennessee Titans, I think that they're actually not going to be bad this year. Like, there's a lot of people writing them off, and as much as I hate the Titans, I'm not going to write them off. I think that they have a chance to be a playoff team. I really do think the Titans still will make the playoffs because they got Derrick Henry. He'll find a way to make it work. And they added Allen Robinson in the offseason. We'll have to see how good he is. But losing A.J. Brown, that really hurts. Now, they did draft Treylon Burks. I think that's what his name, the dude that has horrible conditioning, like threw up the first day of practice. So I think that they could be good with it's going to be interesting to see. I think that the Titans are going to be about where they were last year in terms of records. Maybe a little worse. I think that their ceiling is 12-5. I think that's a pretty reasonable number for them to finish. But I think their floor is like 8-9. Or 9-8 is what I meant to say. I think their floor is 9-8. Like, they have a lot of games on their schedule that can go either way. And they just, I don't know. I just don't see them this year as a team that can make plays happen. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with Ryan Tannehill if they bench him this year for Malik Willis, who they did draft in the 3rd round this past year. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Titans fans are starting to turn on Ryan Tannehill, and because he's proven time and time again he's not that guy. He's not the guy to lead your franchise, and especially with Derrick Henry getting older and starting to become a little injury prone. I wouldn't say injury prone. He did have like one big injury, but that's where a lot of injury riddled end of career start is with just one big injury. So we'll see. I think that Derrick Henry is going to take a step back. Like, he'll still be Derrick Henry, but I don't know if he's going to be fully right. And with that being said, I just don't know if I can give the Titans the win in the AFC South. But I do think that y'all do well. I think that y'all finish 11-6 and have the 7 spot in the AFC. So I think that the Titans do finish second in the division, but they do make the playoffs. Okay, and now to the final team that we're going to be talking about today. My Indianapolis Colts. I had to throw the Matt Ryan jersey back on because he's going to be the sole reason the Colts win this division. I mean, it's pretty obvious now that I have the Colts winning the AFC South. But I still do want to analyze what they're going to say. I know there's going to be a lot of you out there that are going to call me a biased Colts fan. And to an extent, you're kind of right. But even if I wasn't a Colts fan, I would still be picking the Colts to win this division. There's a lot of people saying the Colts are going to win this division. This is probably the easiest division out of all the divisions in the AFC this year. Because, I mean, the North and the West, they're going to be tough. And then the East, that one's also going to be, that's the Bills division to lose. And I think this is the same situation with the AFC South. I think the AFC South is the Colts division to lose here. If the Colts don't win this division, there are serious problems. Unless the Titans are somehow the best team in the world, there's a serious problem. Because the Titans are going to be the only team that's actually competing for the South this year. Now, it's just very, like, the Colts did a lot in the offseason. They are the only team in this division that got significantly better. Like, we added Matt Ryan, Stephon Gilmore, Rodney McLeod. We drafted Alec Pierce. We drafted Jelani Woods. We drafted Nick Cross. We did a lot in the draft. Like, for not having a first-round pick, we had an amazing draft. We fixed our quarterback situation. Yes, it's a temporary solution, but Matt Ryan was a win-now move. This team is ready to win a championship. I think that this team is something special. Stephon Gilmore said it himself. The man who has been on Super Bowl teams before, legit said in an interview a couple days ago, he said, I've been on a Super Bowl team before, and this team has the feel of a Super Bowl team. All the guys are unselfish. And that is exactly what you want to see. There is no problems in the locker room whatsoever. We have so many unselfish guys. Our receiving core is looking really good too. We got Ashton Doolin. He's been playing his ass off in training camp, making these insane catches. Hines is playing well. He's going to be a Deebo Samuel type of player. We got Alec Pierce, who's making phenomenal catches over Gilmore. He's making things happen. Matt Ryan. And all the training camp, across all the teams, he has the best touchdown to interception ratio out of everybody. He's thrown, I think, a total of 4 interceptions in all of training camp. A couple days ago, it was only 2, and he's thrown a couple since then. But the defense is making great plays. Isaiah Rodgers, he's playing out of his mind. Isaiah Rodgers, he's going to break out this season, I think, for the Colts. He had 3 interceptions last year and only started 1 game. He'll probably be a starter this year, and I think that he'll do very well. And we got Gilmore playing corner. He's that lockdown corner we needed. The Colts have a very special team here. I think the Indianapolis Colts ceiling is, I'd say, I'm not going to say 14. I'm going to say 13-4, I think, is our ceiling. And our floor, I'm going to go 11-6. I think that will be in that territory. We have a lot of games that can go either way, but we have a team that can win those games. We have a quarterback. Yeah, he's known for 28-3, even though it wasn't his fault, but that's besides the point. And Titans fans are over here making choking jokes when y'all literally choked in the playoffs last year. Just saying. I think the Colts are going to bounce back from last year, and I think that we finished the year 12-5 and win the AFC South. And with how stacked the AFC is, I think that puts us at 4 in the playoff race, but we do get in the playoffs by winning our division. So, yeah, I'm sure y'all are going to call me a biased Colts fan, but, I'm really not being a biased Colts fan. That's just what I think is going to happen. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Now, I, of course, think the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl, but now, me saying that the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl, yeah, that's me being a biased Colts fan. Saying the Colts are going to win the division is me just being an NFL fan, because that's just, a lot of people are thinking that the Colts are going to win this division. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say. My final standings are Colts number 1, number 4 seed in the playoffs. The Titans, number 2, number 7 seed in the playoffs. Jags, number 3, missing the playoffs. And the Texans, number 4, missing the playoffs also, and probably getting a top 5 pick along with Jacksonville. So, yeah. That's basically all I have to say. I don't know what my upload schedule is going to start looking like here soon. I'm leaving for college in a week, so we'll see. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And turn on the bell notification and follow everything in the description. And make sure you subscribe, or else your favorite NFL team will not win the Super Bowl for the next 20 years. Bye.